I'm sad to announce that the reggae scene has again lost another of its titans and pioneers in the person of the great Owen Gray, who passed away in London on Sunday, the 20th of July 2025 at the age of 86, a giant in the chronicles of modern Jamaican music. The history of the island's music is deep, with so many legends who played their part in taking its music global. But Owen Gray was definitely among its true pioneers, albeit one who never got his flowers until his latter years. He's not only been celebrated as Jamaica's first homegrown superstar, he first came into the limelight as Studio One's first superstar and was also the first artist recorded by Island Records, and wasn't only among the first Jamaican artists to bag hit records in the UK, but he mentored the first true international ska superstar, Millie Small. He was indeed among the most consistent and impactful artists in reggae history. His story more than deserves to be told, so let's pay a tribute to the great Owen Gray, a Jamaican pioneer par excellence. He was born in St. Mary Parish of Jamaica in 1939, and like many other great Jamaican artists, he would show a flair for music in his very early years, and he won his first talent contest at the age of 9 and was already playing several instruments at public shows by the age of 12. His father had plans for young Owen to join the army, but fate had different plans. His musical aptitude got a big boost when he was enrolled at the legendary Alpha Boys School, an institution with a musical heritage which has produced many Jamaican musical legends over the years. And by the time he graduated in 1958, at the age of 19, he was already a seasoned pro and was slotting seamlessly into the music business. And he started out by singing in bars and nightclubs in Kingston, and his superb voice got him noticed by the big producers, and he soon began to record for the likes of Prince Buster, Duke Reid, and Coxsone Dodd, who by then had just opened Studio One in 1959, a period that were the infant years of Jamaica's music industry. Owen Gray would become the first artist to big up a sound system, as he did on the track titled On the Beach.
Come on down on the beach. I was jumping to the music with my little baby on the beach.
The song became a hit and among the first release on Coxsone Records. He was a thoroughbred artist who was one heck of a singer, stage performer, and instrumentalist, qualities that made him very important to what Coxsone Dodd was building at his new studio. He would become not only Coxsone Dodd's star boy, but became a valuable mentor to all the new artists rising up the ranks. And one of them was a plucky 15-year-old girl from Clarendon called Millie Small. He became her teacher and would pair with her on her first song, Sugar Plum, in 1961. And he would end that year on a high with his first LP named Owen Gray Sings, that though a moderate hit in Jamaica, got him noticed by distributors in Europe. Aside his duties at Studio One, he began to collaborate with a young British-Jamaican music entrepreneur named Chris Blackwell, who had just launched his own label called Island Records. He would record a song for Blackwell called Patricia in 1960, a track which became the first produced on Island Records imprint. And he also began to write songs for another Island Records artist named Laurel Aitken, who would score a smash hit with the song Boogie in My Bones that same year. And after a slew of strong singles in the charts, he released a song that was named Please Let Me Go, which quickly went to number 1 in Jamaica.
Please let me go. Please let me go.
Chris Blackwell moved back to England in 1962, and his business model was importing Jamaican records and distributing them in England. And Please Let Me Go would catch on like wildfire and became a smash hit before the year was done. And when you consider that Owen Gray's protege, Millie Small's smash hit, My Boy Lollipop, came out 2 years after, you can see how big a deal it was at the time. Please Let Me Go made him very popular in the UK, and his subsequent singles also became really big over there. So also in 1962, he decided to join the massive wave of immigration to England by Caribbeans that became known as the Windrush Generation. He built on his success in England with a tour of Europe in 1964, and within 2 years had built a strong fan base on the continent. By 1966, ska had given way to rocksteady, and Owen Gray quickly adapted and would put out love songs like Always and These Foolish Things. But it was his 1968 song, Cupid, that blew its way into the UK charts. By 1970, rocksteady had slowed into reggae music, and in honor of the successful lunar landing a year before, he unleashed a track called Apollo 12, which became a smash hit in Britain, especially with the UK skinhead movement. In what were the early days of roots reggae, he would wow audiences back in Jamaica with a track titled Hail the Man that was a tribute to Emperor Haile Selassie. It became a big hit back home and saw him heavily embraced by the Rastafarian community. He moved to America around that time and would spend a year in New Orleans before moving back to Jamaica to go into a devastating collaboration with ace producer Bonnie Lee. And by then, Gray had fully embraced roots reggae and opened his roots account with the phenomenal Bongo Natty in 1975.
Natty Bongo, where are you going? I'm going to warn Jaja children to leave out of.
And it charted in Jamaica as well as the UK. And other tracks like My Dedication and Children Are Cry from 1976 also became big hits in the mid-70s. He was among the most consistent artists I've ever seen and released albums regularly over the years. He would release at least 10 albums in the 80s, a decade that saw him acquire massive new fan bases in South America, especially in Brazil. And by the 90s, he has sort of reverted to his rocksteady persona and formula of love songs. And after marking his 40th year and anniversary in music in 1998, he would focus entirely on doing ballads and gospel songs. And he stayed very active on the live music circuit well into the 2000s and released his last album in the year 2020 at the age of 81. After all his incredible contributions to Jamaican music, he was finally recognized with a Lifetime Honors Award by Jamaica's Reggae Industry Association in 2021. In those times, he was secretly battling lung cancer but was handling it with courage. But unfortunately, he suffered a stroke in the same year, which knocked him over. But a year later, he found out that he would be awarded the Order of Distinction by Jamaica's government, and it inspired him to fight his way back to recovery. And though he couldn't fly to Jamaica to receive the award, he was fit enough to receive it himself at the Jamaican High Commission in London. Sadly, on Sunday, July 20th, 2025, his daughter, Antoinette Gray, would announce her father's passing barely 2 weeks to his birthday. The great Owen Gray was no more. His was indeed a life well spent as one of Jamaica's greatest ever musicians, an icon, pioneer, and one of the original stars who took the culture and music born on the wonderful island, took it to the world stage, and truly helped it take off and go global. Rest in peace, Owen Gray.